Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another fantastic week of Olympus Rises, where I, your host, Jordan, aka Make You Games on the Internet, take you on a wonderful journey through the stars and this absurdly zoomed in picture. We already fucked it up. We fucked it up. It's okay. You all know I fuck it up often enough that it's not really a big deal. Welcome. Glad everybody could be here. It is week 46 of Olympus Rises. Hope you all are enjoying the season so far, this arc. That may or may not come to an end at some point. We'll have to see. We are one player short today. Unfortunately, I don't have the stupid program that that runs the little tabs over here on the side. I think it has a problem with my DNS, so I have to address that in some way. I keep thinking about doing it and then not doing it. So I will set myself a reminder to do that for all of you who may be new and may not listen to the sound of our dulcet tones so commonly. Regardless, I'm glad all of you could be here. It's been a wonderful week for me, but let's see what's going on with everybody. By the way, the player not here is Megan. Megan is not going to be here today. But we're going to push on without her. And we're going to get a lot done. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. So, go ahead and turn on Discord and see. Yep, stand by.
Hang on, then he leaves.
Yes, I also realized that. He's like, is anyone else getting on?
Yeah, JK, peace. Devin out.
We all are on. Hello, everyone. And by everyone, I mean...
half of everyone.
I mean, yeah, half of my regular allotment of players. That's okay. I have very explicit instructions. Matt, you thought our talk was long.
Yeah. Well, this is like at least half Jordan does story time today, right?
I don't think half.
Like,
I don't think I can speak for
like
that
maybe
long.
one.
You
third.
guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Devin, I can't hear you. What did you say?
Punch your face off.
Just like all the way off.
Yeah.
Like right through the back of your head. Not so much off, but through and then away.
Yeah.
Just way away.
That tickled my funny bone. That did.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome. It's boys' night tonight, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly planes, fuck bitches. I mean, not
right.
fuck bitches. No girls.
I can hear the shoe flying through the air to hit you in the head.
No, see, I'm in an apartment by myself, so that's okay.
Oh, see, that also makes sense. That also makes sense.
You're pretty confident she's never going to listen to these, huh?
I'm pretty confident she's never going to listen to these.
Yeah, I've had her. She sat in and listened to us play for about that one time in the car.
That one time in the car, yeah.
And she was done with it. She was like done before we got out of the car. So.
You have a very loving fiance. Which, by the way, I received the letter that I totally opened. And it's not sitting on my bed somewhere.
Okay, cool. You should maybe open that.
I should probably open it.
My invitation, Devin?
Yeah. I thought we had something. I thought this meant something to you.
Listen,
I mean,
to be fair, Devin, you're lucky I went to the fucking mailbox. So
to be fair, you should have fucking responded to any of my messages I sent you yesterday.
I apologize. So
What?
So apparently, by the way, in case anyone's curious, I think Crunchyroll blocks Discord notifications. That's not a true statement. I just wasn't getting Discord notifications, and for some reason, my phone, I don't know, I just didn't look at my text messages, I guess, because I was in a
or
fucking...
phone calls or voicemails or
listen, I was on radio silence yesterday, okay? It was radio silence. I was deep in Dragon Age, and in fact, Matt, I didn't even see your message about stream it until like, I don't know, like 5 hours after I was like getting ready to go to sleep or something. That's how on blackout I was yesterday. So yeah, it was fun. But anyway,
There's still a task you need to complete, by the way, sir.
yeah. So actually, I meant to text you about that. I am waiting for this weekend because I will have someone who actually will know if I look good or not, and that's what I've been lacking. So
Well,
this weekend,
it's all that you're doing is going to get measured. You're not picking a thing.
oh,
The thing has already been picked. You're just going to get measured so the thing that I picked goes on correctly.
see, but I was confused about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you think you look or what your personal preferences are. Devin has already decided that for you, minus your personal dimensions.
To be fair, I'm not sure Devin has decided anything.
No. I was
Well,
very
Devin-
adamant about these.
Oh, okay.
See, men's fashion, I know. So
That's true.
Emmy lets me do that.
I would trust you on that. That's very true. Very
Yeah,
true.
Emmy just leaves me alone to that because she knows that I know what I'm doing there.
Good. Regardless, Megan is currently not here, but I have
Really?
very explicit instructions. In fact, I have 3 separate montages based on whether or not Fortune blows up the ship.
You have a flow chart
I do
in
actually.
her absence.
I was going to do it in Notepad like I did yours and mine, Matt, but instead I had to like go into Microsoft Publisher. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I don't know why it's not used anymore. I fucking love that program.
I've never even heard of this.
That's a
What?
lie.
I mean,
No, I promise
to
I've
be fair,
never
the
heard
most
of
I
Publisher.
use it for is, oh shit, I didn't buy a card. I need to make one
Yo!
now.
I don't understand. Will, since you know what I'm talking about, can you explain to me why that fell out of favor? I fucking love Publisher.
Yeah, I just think it was very niche.
But like,
It's certainly with
100% not joking. I
Wow.
have never heard of this.
well,
100% not joking.
wow. Publisher is great. I fucking love Publisher. I still use Publisher. In fact, I used Publisher to build some NPCs for a game that I was running at some point. Also, yes, that is soup of the day is whiskey and H2O croutons. I like it.
Yes.
Good.
I need that.
I
need that in my life.
Speaking of, I'm going first today in case anyone was curious of what was going on here. So also I received a gift in the mail, not only a card from my bestie, but also from my female bestie. I received rum flavored Death Wish coffee. Sorry, Death Wish coffee.
Ooh.
It is, they also, by the way, have bourbon and whiskey flavored, which made me think of you, Devin.
Why has no one told me about these things?
The problem is, I don't
You
have
just
a
have to
coffee
get-
grinder.
Yeah,
So-
Devin, you just have to get farther into Meg's good graces before she
Yeah,
starts
no,
sending
no.
you coffee.
Devin, without any context, just send her your address, and you will eventually receive gifts. That's how
If
I was told it happened, and that's what I did. So
I mean, that doesn't seem right, but I'm inclined to believe you.
well, I have received home baked
Just
cookies.
keep in mind that means that I will also have your address, and you might receive some really weird shit.
I mean, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, so I have received home baked cookies, which I didn't know this before. Apparently, Megan is allergic to nuts. And she asked me at one point, hey, what's your favorite type of cookie? And I was like, oh my god, white chocolate macadamia, like 100% all the time. Well, I didn't know she was allergic to nuts, and she sent me these cookies, which then she said, yeah, I almost died to send you cookies. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm allergic to nuts. And I said, why the fuck would you make me macadamia white chocolate
Right?
cookies if you were allergic to nuts? What is wrong with you? And then, yes, I received a message from her the other day that says, check your mailbox today. And I said, oh, okay. And that's how I got rum flavored Death Wish coffee. But, like I said, the problem is I don't have a coffee grinder.
That is a slight problem.
Yeah, and it's that? It's full on coffee beans. So,
You can buy one for like $5.
I know, I'm going to. But now, see, here's the thing, Will. When have you ever known me to do anything half-assed? So
He's going out. He's just gonna go buy a barista. Is what you're telling me.
yeah. I'm gonna actually like start my own coffee farm, so that I can do it right.
So a couple. Did I complain about this on stream or like to you guys? I feel like I did.
Doesn't matter. We have time.
Probably.
It was like a really rough. It was bad news. My coffee grinder, after like 20 years of faithful service to my family, finally gave up the ghost. And then that was a really rough morning for me. But also, I recently had to go on a search for like the perfect burr grinder. So I can totally hook you up. I've already concluded what the best are.
Yeah. Send me that. I would like it in spreadsheet format, please. With
no. Like I already decided what the one is. So unless you want a spreadsheet with one entry, which I can do for you.
Actually,
please,
you know what?
Please do that.
Yeah, if you could,
I'll send you like a Google sheet with one line.
Yeah. Can you also include like pie charts of like this is the thing and this is the other thing, and then it's just all one color? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'll just be like a blue circle.
Yeah.
100%. This is what you should buy.
See, that's the kind of research I need to find when I'm going to buy things.
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
This one. It's like, okay, that one.
And like just the cited sources is literally just the Amazon link. That's the cited source. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Anyway, that I finished. I wish this was on Friday, but I finished Hunter x Hunter. For those of you that care about anime, or at least what is currently available in anime format.
I'm guessing that Will might kind of, and Devin and I are just gonna scratch our heads and wonder what the hell that is.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't watched much of it, but I know what you're talking about.
My evaluation is
Yeah, what did you think of the insect
listen
birthing babies that try to destroy the world?
So Jackson, those of you that don't know Jackson,
spoilers, God.
For those of you who don't know Jackson, he's a player in my Dungeons and Dragons game on Friday. He's also a fucking knucklehead in basically every sense of the word. But
now that his knuckles have been blasted up into his head, like via catastrophic factory accidents.
Yeah. He's also a master of anime because he's a super weeb, which is appropriate for his character if you know who he is. And he told me to watch this series, and I watched the series. And long story short, he told me like I kept him updated as to like my progress, and then gave like my thoughts, and it's pretty good. And then I got to a part where I was like, oh man, this is like the best. Like I love this arc. This arc is so great. And he goes, well, the next arc is my favorite in the entire series. It's like 100% the best. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, if it just gets... He's like, I liked that arc, but I love this next one. I was like, oh, sick. It's going to get even better. And there were... I'm going to classify it as there were two distinct storylines following that. And the reason why I'm not going to call them arcs is because they're tied together pretty closely, but they're very distinctly different, like, parts of the story. For example, the first part of the arc explains the characters in the second part of the arc. So my generalization is the first part of that arc is probably one of the worst narratively written stories I've ever watched in my entire life. And
damn.
And I messaged Jackson and I said, he's like, I messaged him, I said, I know exactly why you like this. Because it's fucking weird. Like, I know you, and I know that the reason you like this is because it's strange and fucking weird. But I will tell you that this is, like, one of the worst things I've ever watched. From, like, a narrative perspective. However, the second part is probably one of the best things in anime I've ever seen in my life. And Will, you've seen the whole thing, right? So you know, like, the change that I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so For those that spoiler alert, if you plan on finishing Hunter x Hunter, don't listen. Mute yourself. For about 5 minutes. But in the first part of the arc, there is the Chimera Ant Queen, who the hunters are trying to go hunt down because it's like a classified, like, dangerous, quarantined animal. And what this Hunter Queen does is she consumes organisms, live organisms, animals, and eventually leads up to people. And every ant that she gives birth to has the traits of everything she's consumed up to that point. So, for example, once she starts consuming humans, they begin to have, like, human-like traits in these chimera ants. And the goal is she becomes strong enough and consumes so many people that she gives birth to what they call the king, and the king is like the all-powerful, super mighty ant, right? And so the entire storyline is trying to prevent that from happening. Which, as a concept, seems cool. But just one of the worst executed things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, no sense of continuity throughout the story. So many plot holes you could literally dive through. Like, just so bad. And at the end of the arc, like, the king is born and goes off with his 3 guards and, like, just flies away, just leaves, gone forever. And then just, like, that's it. That's the end of that part of the arc. And so the second is a very distinctly different story, which in anime, you recognize that by the intros and outros of the show. They kept the same intro, but changed the outro. They changed the end credit scene of the anime, which indicates a different part of the story. And that's why I don't compare the two as a single whole. And that entire story is all about stopping the Ant King. And that is probably one of the most well-written, like, stories I've ever encountered. Because that part is super cool. It's everything you want from an anime, like, fighting show. So that's my comments on it.
Interesting.
Will, how do you feel about that?
I mean, pretty good review, I'd say.
Yeah? Fairly accurate, you would feel?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that isn't the type of show you kind of end up watching for, like, oh god, the story's so, like, I need to know every single plot hole.
I mean, yes,
there are cool
I agree.
action scenes and
Yeah, I agree. And, like, the smart fighting is the thing I liked a lot about it. Like,
yeah,
the intelligent use of abilities to fight with. That was cool. But, like, there's so many open lines of dialogue now. Because, like, it really felt like the entire Ant line of thinking was completely... like, honestly, when I started watching the first part, I was like, why are they doing filler episodes? Like, that's what I felt like. Because I'm used to watching anime like Naruto that has, like, literally over 2,000 episodes or something, where a lot of them are filler. A lot of them are, like, not having to do with the main story, etc., because you end the story on, like, a really big, like, climax, and there's so many other things going on that you want to see dealt with, and then it's just like, nope, none of that exists anymore. Fuck it. And you're like, but there was all that other stuff that was there. What? Why are we fighting giant ants now? I don't understand. And so, as an anime viewer, I was like, why am I seeing filler episodes? But anyway, that's it. So now I am without anime again. I briefly considered watching Naruto from the very beginning over again. And then I realized that was 2,000 episodes or some bullshit, and I was like, never mind. I don't have that kind of time.
That's kind of what I did with Dragon Ball. I'm like, I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball from the beginning again, and then I got like 20 episodes in, and I'm like, oh my god, there's still so many more.
Yeah, and like,
this kind of time.
Yeah, and Naruto has such, like, an impact on me as a young anime viewer that, like, I can vividly remember most of the important scenes in that show. So it's not like I've forgotten everything, and I would be surprised again when it popped up.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, or open question to the group: have any of you seen the like fan recut DBZ episodes? Because
Yes.
those are
And
solid.
they're hilarious.
No. Well, yes, it's hilarious how much they cut out, unless you're talking about something fundamentally different from me.
Then I
But
guess I think I am.
a while back, someone basically re-edited like the entire, some of the major arcs of DBZ, and just like cut out all of the repetitive scenes
Yeah.
and like cut down. They basically reduced the entire thing by like 80%, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like
Mm.
it,
I
they
did not hear about
recut
this.
it, and it was like a movie.
Yeah, it was like
That's
2
awesome.
hours or whatever. That makes
It
sense.
was pretty awesome. Like I wish that more people would do stuff like that, but I do recognize that it's a tremendous amount of work to do that
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of cool.
Nifty. No, I thought you were gonna say the DBZ episodes that they redid the voice acting in, and they changed all the lines.
Oh no, there's plenty of that, and those are, some of them can be pretty funny. But I'm
Well, there is-
talking about like
Yeah.
just, hey, 9/10 of this is superfluous
Yeah.
as a conservative estimate. Why don't we fix it?
Makes sense. Well, now that I've monopolized 21 minutes of time with basically anime, Devin, how are you? How's life? How's everything going?
You know, this was an interesting weekend. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff off Amazon for my apartment because I needed a new dresser and all kinds of other. Well, my dresser and nightstand came in Friday. I open up the dresser, it's broken. So I call them back and they say, "Hey, well, okay, we'll send you a new one, but we need to send this one back." I'm like, "Well, if someone wants to come bring me a new box, I'll send it back to you." They go, "What?" I said, "Well, I had to cut the box open to get the stuff out." They go, "Oh, well, then never mind. Just we'll send you a new one. You can throw away the other one." Okay, cool. So then I said, "Okay, well, let me go ahead and put my nightstand together." So I open up that, and it's defective. The pieces don't go together right. Like I'm following the instructions to the T, and they just don't go together. Like the holes don't line up. What the fuck is this?
Is this from IKEA?
No, it's from Amazon. It's South Shore stuff. It's very similar to IKEA stuff, which almost everything's IKEA
Should have
stuff.
got North Shore.
Yeah.
I've heard West Shore has been making leaps and bounds in their quality lately.
So yeah, I get a dresser and end table, and neither one of them are going together this weekend, which was not good. This is just very frustrating. You know, you get home Friday, like, yeah, I get to unpack more boxes, put some shit together. My apartment's gonna look like an apartment, not like a storage facility. And then nothing happens, and it's very frustrating.
Honestly, one of the smartest things that I ever did was Rooms to Go.
Yeah.
I spent $1,200 and I got literally everything to furnish a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Like leather couches, leather chair, the coffee table, end tables, bed frame, dresser, like everything. It was one of the best things I've ever done for sure.
Yeah. If I didn't have a whole lot of stuff already, I would do that. But
you do, yeah. You actually do have a whole lot of stuff already.
See, I'm Devin, I empathize because not in terms of furniture, but I like seldom ever go try clothing on.
Mm-hmm.
So like more than half of what I buy online gets sent back, and it's always like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
Like nothing, hardly anything ever actually matches expectations.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, I'm going completely in the reverse direction with furniture, and I'm like already mentally planning how I'm gonna get rid of all this shit.
Nice.
Because other than the desk that I built and love, I do not want to move most of this wherever I'm going to be, which is almost certainly going to be half a country away.
Yeah.
Because forget the Midwest. Like hard. Fuck the Midwest.
Yeah, I have had many conversations in which the conclusion was, I don't really feel like bringing the furniture except for my, $2,000 bed that I paid for, and the frame, which is still good, and
No, I
maybe
mean
a
like
coffee table.
all my stuff is basically from IKEA,
Yeah.
essentially.
Mhm.
Well, my bed and dresser and shit like that is all from IKEA and has been moved, including bringing it out here after buying it in Connecticut. It's been moved no fewer than 6 times, which is to say that bed frame has seen some shit.
Yeah,
So
it's time to get rid of that.
I mean, it's still fine. It's still a bed frame. It's cool, but like, it has served its purpose, and at this point I would rather not pay to, like, whatever the cost would be to move it someplace else in the country is way more than I'm willing to
Yeah.
dump into it.
I'm gonna make a note here at 23 minutes to take that quote out of context. That bed frame has seen some shit. I'm gonna go in and
It is.
cut that
I
part of the
will.
pod.
I will attest to that as well. But what I mean is primarily in terms of having been assembled and disassembled for the sake of moving, not repaired for other reasons.
Right. Yeah. Obviously.
Okay.
Really
And,
is guys' night, because if Megan were here, she would have left the call.
Yeah, Meg is pretty cool with that sort of stuff, but there are definitely lines that I do
Well,
not cross on stream.
She might be cool with that sort of stuff, but you are her brother, so I mean, like,
Yeah. So it's like,
I feel like that's more awkward than if like I said it or
Oh,
Devin
yeah.
said it or Will said it.
That's exactly the next thing that was coming out of my mouth, was like, you could joke about that, or Devin or Will could joke about it.
Yeah.
But no.
Hear retching vomiting sounds.
Meg and I do not even tell each other when we're like dating new people. But she told, like, and you know this to be true, Jordan.
I know this to be true. Yes.
It's come up before actually on stream when I've been like, wait, what? Like, after you guys have been talking about something, and then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, you told Jordan about that, but
nothing will ever top the. We were playing L5R, and I told the rest of the people in the group, it was Will and Jackson at the time. I said, hey, just so you guys know, I think Megan's seeing somebody, because she literally has ghosted me on Discord for so many days. And I was like, how much money you want to bet I'm right? And then like 2 minutes later, she joins in, and I go, so what's his name? And there was silence.
yeah,
Dead silence. And she's like, how did you know? That was the first thing out of her mouth. Oh my god.
That's funny.
Right, Will?
It was, and we played that off for like a good solid week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so good. But anyway, congratulations on the
I'm taking like a 3-week break from Rocket League now.
Oh, it's up to 3 weeks now. Okay.
Oh no, I haven't ever taken a break from Rocket. Like, just said I'm going, like, this weekend was horrible, the worst. I just bad, everything bad, Rocket League bad. It's just bad.
I honestly haven't touched Rocket League in a very long time.
So, yeah, I'm just
Hey,
bad.
Hey, Devin.
Yep.
Let me take this opportunity to explain to you how fucking great Ultimate Chicken Horse is. Because Will and I and Dalton all need somebody else to play with.
I watched some videos and I'm like, this looks insane.
It's so great. It's so great, and we never have enough people to play.
I'll keep that in mind.
Jordan, I'm not mentioning it to you because you've clearly written it off.
I wouldn't say that.
You had your chance. You had your chance, and then it never happened.
Fair. However, I do have a question. Will,
Hello.
have you done more bow twangy shooty things?
I did, yes.
Did you shoot from 15 meters this time?
No, it was from 20 this time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you hit the target?
I did, and I actually managed to hit it each time.
Wow.
Of course, some were kind of getting dangerously close to the edge compared to last week, but no, it was great. And yeah.
How so? Can you run us through? And I know we're gonna go over time here, but whatever. Anime.
You have 15 seconds.
Will, can you
Go.
run us? Can you run
pull
us
your
through?
arm back, you go pow, arrow goes whoosh, dead.
Okay, good. So, nah, you know what? I think that's it. I think actually
That is
have-
the thing about
That's
that is the
perfect.
thing about arrows, though, right? Like if you hit the target, like you hit the. There's no good place to get stuck with an arrow.
no, you're basically just dead.
So
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
sometimes,
yes, well, I can say yes and no from actually hunting, and
to be fair, there sometimes bullets are too powerful, right? Like when they literally just go through you, it doesn't
No,
really
that's-
cause
that's
that much
part.
damage.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I hope never to be struck by an arrow.
well, yeah, I mean, I'd hate to get shot by an
Just
arrow,
putting
but
it out.
there's a lot of places you can live from getting shot by an arrow.
Well, I think that's the point, right? Like you're not gonna die immediately, but I feel like that's way worse than a lot of other types of things that can hit you.
It's totally gonna ruin your day, and then you have to like pull that thing out.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, it
you're
might
more
even
likely
be in the
to
knee.
be in pain from an arrow than a bullet. Because
Yeah.
a lot of places a bullet can kill you, or it will just like pass through a very fleshy part.
Yeah.
But
Broad,
an arrow,
broadheads,
either-
Jesus, broadhead arrows just scare the Jesus out of me. They're just
Yeah,
like the most menacing looking thing.
Have you looked at like the new when was the last time you looked at a broadhead arrow? Like, have you seen like these new
I mean,
like they've
like
come up with
I
new technology ones that flare out when after they've been fired? I mean, all this crazy ass stuff.
yeah, like the ones with like fucking hinges and stuff
Yeah.
on them that are it's pretty crazy. And I mean, I guess I see them fairly often because like I like hiking and camping shit, and if you're on any websites or looking in catalogs, like stuff like that, the hunting stuff invariably comes up. So I'm loosely aware of how horrific those have become.
Yeah.
Which in a hunting sense, okay, cool. Your goal is to kill something, and if it works, that means that presumably the animal is suffering for less time because they will go down more quickly. But it still just freaks me out.
I mean, the thing I just posted in the Discord there.
Oh yeah.
Those ones that are off the back of the broadhead, those are actually folded closed until it hits the target, and then they fold out once it gets inside, so that way the arrow doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very akin to spearfishing, which I have a vast amount of experience with. Matt,
Yeah.
how have you been?
I've been.
Good.
Are you published yet?
Fuck off, Devin.
Okay, sorry.
So
No, it's just hang ups. It's the sort of thing where I have done the hard part correct, and I've put in a lot of work, and now it's like the most mundane shit isn't working in lab, and I haven't been able to get any good data in the past couple of weeks, so it's kind of wearing on me. But yeah, let's just not belabor that. I get to go home in a week. That's good, even
Nice.
though everything else sucks.
fantastic.
Gonna go get some lobster rolls and some potato donuts and some duck fat milkshakes and go to the beach.
I was
Did
with you
say
until that
duck
last
fat
part.
Milkshakes.
Yep. Portland. Portland.
No.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Well, I was in Portland. I never saw duck fat milkshakes anywhere.
Which Portland?
Portland, Maine.
Oh,
Which Portland though?
yeah, that's true. I've been to Portland, Maine, but that was more like, hey, I'm in it and I'm gone. I was only there for maybe the hour it takes to get.
I mean,
through it.
I'm not going to knock it, but I am going to say, from someone who has no experience, that sounds gross.
Yeah,
Just throwing
I'll
it out
agree.
there.
But it's made with
Duck fat, yeah, that's
vanilla-
what it sounds like.
vanilla gelato and fresh Tahitian vanilla beans.
I mean, that all sounds good.
Yeah, put that with milk and I'm down. That's a milkshake.
And duck fat.
Right, and then there's the part where,
Yeah.
where I'm
Uh-huh.
You
lost.
can also get sea salt duck fat caramel.
I mean,
I think,
we
again,
have deep fried Mars bars, so
Or,
Again-
or duck fat fried citrus donut holes sprinkled
everything
with cinnamon
there,
sugar.
everything there in that caramel salted milkshake besides the duck fat, I'm still in.
I am I am equally skeptical. I've maybe had a sip of those. Meg, however, demolished one the last time we were there.
That does not surprise me in the slightest.
See, the duck fat to me it's savory. So why would you put something like that in like a milkshake?
I don't know. It's kind of their thing, but we don't have to actually talk about that. I'm just throwing
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
I got nothing. We're 6 over. Let's play some Stars Without Number.
Montage, go.
Da, da, da.
Well, we fucked up the intro.
Well, we have.
Well, no, I haven't done the intro yet, so we're good.
Yeah, but we like almost did until I said it.
No. I was there. I was actually trying to think of a good segue, but now I don't have any. So
Speaking of bad segues.
yeah, speaking of terrible segues, last time on Olympus.
Dun 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 da.
Exactly. So last time on Olympus, we dealt with quite a few. I think I would call them bureaucratical problems. Long story short, we were able to get those who needed to be on the planet, Oscar, on the planet, and
Well, the one who needed to be and one who insisted on being.
correct, yes. And that kind of left us in a particular scenario where two characters, both Gogo and Oscar, require like an extended period of time to train their new abilities. One which will be getting vehicle space, and one which will be getting level 3 in Kenjutsu. And in Stars Without Number, you're required to either like pay a certain amount and train, or find a trainer of applicable level and train and take the time to do it. Regardless, it also takes time. Now, luckily, we have two other individuals who are not training, who have fairly big clocks that they need to handle.
Well, one
Flavor
really
Flav
big clock
clocks.
and one pretty small clock.
just letting you know, I currently have was it 23 research slots I can do. So
Yeah, that was the big one I was talking about, because mine have only got 2 rolls left, I think.
Yeah, so it may be like, because the way yours are going to work, obviously, Devin, is like once you finish one, you'll have the opportunity to like start on another one.
Yeah.
So we can definitely find something for that. But in addition, I didn't want to spend too much time role-playing the training. And while there's going to be cool, like, bomb-ass stuff, it is a very individual character thing, and in order of fairness to both Devin and Will, because I'm sure that they would like to play their characters at some point within the next couple of weeks, it is important to somewhat fast-forward the scenarios here. And so in order to do that, I have both spoken for about 3 hours with Megan, and then about, I don't know, was it 2 hours last night or the other night with Matt in order to kind of lock down how this procedure is going to go with the montage and the major plot points and how they would react to certain things so that we can simply get it and move on. But I'm going to try and do it in the most fun way possible, which is sprinkle in a little of those people who have actions to take. For example, doing your clocks, some role-playing elements perhaps between Dr. Fisher and Fortune if that comes up. So we're going to hopefully take not too much time doing this so that we can get to the culmination of where the montages are going to end, and move about our merry way, to which Goga will be distracted and flying the ship as she should. So, in the interest of that, I'll start with, because it kind of plays into the rest of what some of these scenes are going to be. So I turn my attention to Dr. Fisher. Now, Dr. Fisher, it is the day after Oscar's left. You know that you're stuck in orbit for about 2 weeks. Or probably at this point, since it's been a couple days, you're stuck in orbit for another 12 days, basically. Which basically means enough for 4 rolls on the clocks. But the most important one is probably the very first one you need to make. Am I right?
Yeah.
So if we recall, this next one I told you, which is I believe number 5 out of 20, right?
Yes.
I'm doing it so that every 5 is a significant one. So this one is actually going to be conducting a minor medical procedure on Chan to biopsy this strange growth that you found at the base of his skull, top of his spine. So with that being said, what's the build up for Dr. Fisher, knowing that getting to a better medical facility isn't going to be a huge opportunity, and Chan may not be alive in the sense of things are alive, but there could still be catastrophic damage here. Sever a spine whichever way you want. Still gonna cause problems, perhaps.
First thing, I make sure Gogo is with me in the med bay for this entire 6-hour-long procedure.
Yeah, totally.
I don't care if she's, but I want to hook up with Pilot Boy or whatever.
Right, now, I don't know, did I actually introduce him getting to the ship yet? I don't think I did.
Yeah, because...
Oh, did I? Okay.
Me and Fortune kind of...
There's
an intruder on the ship.
Right, okay, I do remember that now, yes. Okay, so yes.
Devin greeted him sans pants, but with a gun drawn.
Correct.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct. That is...
Yeah.
That is what occurred. And then... Oh, right, because Chan asked...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Stuff happened.
Right. I remember now.
So for the rest of us, can you fill us in on what exactly it is you're doing with Chan? Because I don't think we have any frame of reference.
Yeah. So I think when Gogo comes in, because I'm obviously a professional,
Obviously.
I go through the procedure like, okay, I'm going to make an incision from here down to the lower cranium. I'm then going to have to insert these tongs into. I'm not a brain surgeon. I don't know anything about brain biology.
I mean, I think that's an appropriate Dr. Fisher response, as well as, I mean, you could probably do a damn fine autopsy.
So is the goal of this just like exploratory surgery? What are you hoping to learn from doing this?
There is some particular tissue which is very different from how a living person should be. and so I'm going to collect.
So you're taking a biopsy?
Samples.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool.
He is extracting some of this tissue for a biopsy, but the tissue is located at the base of the skull. So while there's not a huge danger here to vital organs, it is relatively close to, you know, the spine. And there's also, Dr. Fisher's not a surgeon. So there are some risks here assumed.
And I'm not holding out that like anesthesia's gonna work.
Right, because that's the other thing is Chan already can't respond to like the medicinal drugs. And so Chan might literally have to be like restrained and held down, you know, or like local anesthesia, right? Like basically the equivalent of Novocaine, just like injected a bajillion times. But we know we can't really inject Chan with anything. It just doesn't work as well as it should.
Yes.
So that may or may not even work itself.
So what's kind of Gogo's reaction to? Hey,
Gogo,
I'm going to cut up Chan.
Yeah. So Gogo's main thing is, she's on the if you kill him, I'll kill you train, right? Like, no pressure, Dr. Fisher, but if he doesn't stay Chan, there'll be more than words had.
Yeah. Thanks for...
Probably there's a comment of like, we can find any other physician.
But we can't though, because Chan isn't normal.
Yeah. Cold icy stare.
But yes, thanks, Gogo. You know, just what I need before I perform surgery. Just something to get the adrenaline pumping, and you know, blood's pumping and hands shaking.
Claws slowly come out of her knuckles and then slide back up.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Okay. So yes, we get Chan restrained as best as we can with his Super Saiyan strength.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't fight you. If you're like, hey, lie down here, he just lies down.
It's probably enough to like just psychologically make Fisher feel better about it, to see him visually have things on.
Because literally Gogo could be like, lie there and don't move till I tell you, and he literally would not move until she told him, regardless of what was happening to him.
Does she say that? Because that will make me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think she does. She's here to help. Because the last thing she wants is Chan, like, being like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? And just, like, push-upping from the fucking operation table. And then all of a sudden the fucking, the proton scalpel just goes directly through all of his body.
It's like when you have to tell little kids that it's very important they don't move much when they're getting a haircut.
Right, yeah. And then they turn and say, what? And then, like, the scissors go into their eyes. Just me then?
That got
okay.
dark real quick. I was just thinking about a bad haircut, but holy shit. We got blind children now.
Depth perception impaired children.
Okay. So he's strapped in. I've applied as much numbing gel as I can.
Right, yeah, and that's probably what you're reduced to, right? Is like, you can't get a needle, and you know that even if you do get a needle in a soft part of his arm, leg, head, whatever,
his metabolism is just
right. There's no circulatory system to speak of, so it's not gonna circulate and do anything. So yeah, you numbing gel the area down. You sanitize. You probably sealed the med bay so that no contaminants can get in, and you get to work. Now, are you using your proton scalpel?
Yes.
Probably a good idea, considering you would have a tough time getting through with a regular scalpel. It would work, but it'd be like trying to cut leather with a dull knife.
Yeah. So because this is a super duper awesome top of the range thing, this actually makes it better, correct? In terms of mechanically.
You do get an additional bonus to your roll, yes.
Yes. And
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. And
You
because
thank Oscar's
uh,
conscience for having that.
and because on the 4 out of 20 Google research, Gogo assisted and
Correct.
she went crazy, so I also got a +1
Correct.
for this.
It's very hard to fail this.
Thanks for jinxing that. So tech meds, I'm assuming.
Yes, but with dexterity, because you're performing a physical operation here. And the total bonuses, I think we agreed that it's a +2 with the scalpel. I think that was a word that was said. So you get a total of
med checks.
Yeah, to the tech med checks. So a total of a +3 on your roll. I mean, again, real hard to fail.
Does my bio implant not help as well?
That only helps if we're trying to do something for you.
Yeah, correct.
Well, I take that back. Let me make sure I'm not re-killing Chan.
No, it monitors your own health and fitness. So if he's doing something to himself or somebody else is doing something to him, it is more effective.
Okay. So +3.
Yeah.
So,
Would you like to keep a 9, Dr. Fisher?
that is below average.
We've only got 9 minutes left, so...
Yeah, I'm re-rolling. Oh god. Dexterity. +3. Come on.
Hey! That was perhaps a good reroll.
Yeah.
Perhaps a good reroll. So, I think that, like, you take a deep breath, and you have the incision, like, marked with, like, a marker or whatever. And you begin to make the incision, and you're expecting, like, requiring some suction. And there's no blood that comes out. And I think that for a moment, you're like, you start to sweat, like, what's going on? And then you're like, no, it's fine, it's normal. I just gotta get in there. And you cut open, and you're able to get in there, and with the procedure, it probably takes you about, I don't know, an hour or so. And I think that what you start to fight with as well is you've made the incision, and then you've separated the area that you need to separate. But what you notice is the areas are trying to reconnect during your procedure. And so you actually have to get, like, clamps to hold open the incision that you've made. And eventually you're able to get in there and take enough tissue out with the little clippers, the little tongs, as you called them. And, get enough for a proper biopsy. And, like, you probably release the clamps and you go to sew them up, and you can see that, like, it's already been sealed. There is still a scar, or it's not even really a scar. Scar's not even the right name for it. You can still see the incision where you cut through, but it has been closed and is almost being, like, held together by force of will. There's no other act working upon it. It's actually probably a little bit disconcerting because I think that maybe you test it, right? Maybe you, like, push down on it and you see it separate just a little bit. Then you let it go and it just kind of rebounds back to its location where it's, like, perfectly together. I assume that maybe you, like, patch it up anyway. Throw some medical makeup on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, so you can make it so that, like, the outer layer appears to be normally finished. So he doesn't look like he's got a incision on the back of his neck at all times. Super glue, yeah, basically. It is basically like leather.
I mean, I don't have anything else on the ship.
It probably is super. Probably just no. It's like if you've ever seen the animated Alien GIF where the alien comes through and then he closes the door and puts just a piece of Scotch tape on it. That's probably exactly what happens here. And congratulations, Dr. Fisher. Your operation was a success. You can mark a check in that box.
I live another day.
And I think that I think that like as soon as you're done, you're like, Chan, can you hear me? And just in a completely normal voice, he's just like, yes, Dr. Fisher, I'm here. Like nothing even happened. He didn't feel nothing. There was no indication that, he was probably perfectly still too during the entire process.
God, Zombie Chan is even weirder than regular Chan.
And Gogo, relieved that you will not send her over the deep end, thanks you and takes Chan back to care for him. Which leads us to... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just sit down, get the bottle of scotch out from the cupboard, which I've safely hidden behind fake cabinet doors, and just pour myself a drink and just, whew, holy crap.
All in all, it was a successful operation.
First time for everything.
Which brings me to Fortune. Hello.
Devin.
Hi, sorry, I was muted. Couldn't
Okay.
find the
Hey.
button.
So Fortune, you're currently in the process of disarming a fission bomb.
Correct. Yeah. Well, yeah.
In the enclosed space of the ship. Seems fine.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding mostly. So
No.
you have 2 rolls left, right?
Correct.
So your first roll was to identify what's wrong with it, which you've identified now, and your second roll was to disassemble it, right? And the third optional roll is going to be to be able to reassemble it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think you failed once on the first roll, which is totally fine. It's not gonna kill you unless you roll like snake eyes. Then we might have to make some tech saves or something. So how does Fortune narratively reattack this particular quandary he's been in trying to disassemble this thing?
So after Fisher came over and kind of re-explained to
Right.
me what everything in the gun was, my brain was a little more able to figure out the process of how it functions.
Yeah.
So now that I know that, I'm like, oh, okay, so I got to take this one off first to take apart that, then I can take apart this. Where before I was just like, why don't I just cut all the wires?
Yeah. The light blue wire first as opposed to the cyan wire.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's now I understand slightly understand the process of how the gun works.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's perfectly acceptable. So I believe that I was having you make the profession roll based on dexterity because you were physically like disassembling this thing. So why don't you make me profession armor roll with dexterity?
What?
Wow. So I think that might be the same roll you rolled before.
So-
Yeah, it totally.
So what
is.
does the explosion sound like?
So that is actually the exact same roll you made before, a 2 and a 1.
Yep.
So I think that there's not an explosion here. But I do, man, that's the second 5 in a row. Roll me a luck save. We'll see how bad it is. I don't think it's bad
That's
enough
not
to
the second-
explode.
That's not the second 5 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
Because
sure?
I failed the first roll, then I passed, or I failed the first one, then I passed, and then I failed. This is my first disassembly roll.
Oh, really? Because I'm looking at the log. It says you made a profession skill check and you rolled a 5. Maybe that was for something else. But okay, this is your first failed
no.
disassembly roll.
I thought so. Yeah, I might be wrong.
I don't know why I would have made you another armor roll besides this last session.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm pretty sure Jordan is right, but I want Devin to succeed, so I'm going to take his side.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
This can be
I
a
mean-
democracy.
I
So
just
yeah.
didn't remember making a roll last session, but that's fine.
I think that based on the joke that only Will laughed at because it was hilarious, you accidentally cut the cyan wire instead, and there's probably some like. Actually, I do want you to make me a tech save. It's not going to hurt you much, but I do want you to make me a tech save to see like how badly this thing kind of fucks up in your face. Okay, it's a failure, but not a significant one. So I think that like your gloves kind of melt to the tips of your fingers a little bit from like the sparkling energy when you go to cut something off, and you gotta like take them off real quick, and you got kind of the blisters on your hands kind of feeling where it's hard to like manipulate things for a few days. Like if you have a dull spot in your oven mitt or whatever, and you grab a hot plate or something like that. So yeah, I think that and you're probably annoyed with yourself. I don't know. You could choose how you want to feel about it.
Definitely am. Well, I'm probably annoyed at the rifle then.
Yeah, you just like throw it across the the bench or whatever. But yeah, so it's frustrating, man. Learning this type of thing now. If we could look into the background of Fortune a little bit, what was your initial like reasoning behind wanting to become an armorer? Was it simply just because you wanted cool guns, or is there something deeper there that makes you like have this drive to do this?
I mean, like probably for the same reason that I've always stuck with projectile firearms is I like the mechanical function of things, and I particularly like the mechanical function of a firearm. So always being able to like whenever I had the chance, that's half the reason why I like cleaning my guns, because I can take it apart and put it back together, and take it apart and put it back together.
Right.
So same thing with an armor is like, oh, this means I can do this but make money with it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's purely like a personality. You like the mechanical operation of things, and I would venture to say that you are extremely adept at doing all of the other mechanical things that you attempt to do, right? Like you could do all of that shit literally in your sleep, and probably have before. Like you've probably woken up with a completely disassembled pistol in like perfect positioning on your chest after a dream, and then like fell back asleep and then woke up and it was fully put together. Like that's probably how things happen for you. So failure with a similar aspect is probably difficult on you.
Yeah.
Probably frustrating. There's probably the yelling and the screaming and the string of expletives.
It's echoing through the whole ship.
Yeah, I think maybe we don't see the actual scene where you get burned. We just see like the light like sparking, from the darkened cargo bay, and then like spark, and then like a flash of light, and then just cursing like echoing through the halls. And we see every character that's still in the ship just kind of like look in that direction, like what was that? What was that? And then like we see you the next day like at breakfast with your hands all bandaged, like trying to hold a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and like the whole cup is just like shaking and like rattling on the little saucer that Shan gave me, because he never just gives you a cup.
Correct. He's sophisticated.
Yeah.
It's exactly I think what's happening is what we see. So it's a bit frustrating for Fortune, but don't worry, you're gonna have plenty of more chances to try that out.
Fuck it all up.
Yeah, totally. So let me explain a little bit about what's going on with Gogo during this whole process. So as we know, Fizz arrived on the ship, and